like to start my class now. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hello, guys.
Hello, Mr. Sir.
How are you? How you guys doing? Are you guys ready for me today? Don't you dare say ready with what?
Ready with what?
Oh my God.
The collaborative team, sir.
Ah.
Just teasing you.
What?
I'm just teasing you.
Oh, okay. So you guys have agreed on your group leaders who is in charge of the model? Huh? Guys? Silence, I hear.
We agreed, but ours is not here.
No, hold on. Your group leader doesn't necessarily have to be the person in charge of the model.
No, as in the model person is not here.
Okay, our persons. So, I can't remember which groups everybody is in off the top of my head. So what we need is, all right, I have a program and I have a portable version, right? So I'm going to give you guys that program, right? Portable means you don't need to install it, you just run it. I'm hoping we don't get any technical challenges, but it should work. And I've tested it a couple of times. Does everyone have, remember the next thing you need is Rivet. Everybody needs to have the same version of Rivet. I only have like 3 persons here. Oh Lord. And the last thing is OneDrive, right? So those 3 things are what we need: Rivet, OneDrive, and this program that I'm giving out. So what I want to do though, to know if I need to message, I need you to message your team members to, because I have to start this one time, right? I don't want to do it and do it again. Even if it's Trey doing the model and I only get 2 of you, that's fine. But minimum, I need 2 people to do it. Naturally, you know, it's collaboration. And then those 2 can always share the what they learned with the 3rd person. So, but you're saying I don't have the model. Who are the model persons?
George.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, the other group.
No, who else in your group?
My group, it's George, Brighton, Grizzle.
Okay.
Yeah.
George and Grizzle?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's only 2 persons.
And Kevin, I think.
Kevin. Right.
Rose.
Every time.
Just out.
All right, this is which group, which team this again?
Cameroon.
Then no, for the other team, who are the model persons?
Sir, nobody's here from the other team.
I know. Oh,
Only Cameroon is here.
As always. So this is a regular thing.
So we not gonna know.
Like, honestly.
Them
No,
not come
but
to
remember
school.
that sometimes because we have a slight overlap, so some persons come in at 4. So does the parties here want to volunteer, and then they will teach it to the model persons? Because other than that, you know, we only have limited time here, and as usual, we want to try start early and finish early. Um, what can I do? What if usually most people comes in by 4 or 3:30? I need at least 2 persons from each team. That's all I need. Then we can do it. We can do the example, and then you can always watch the video to so that you guys can remember. Okay. Or I could just work with the 4 persons here, and the 4 persons tell everybody else. How about that?
No, sir. No.
No. All right. So
Mm-mm.
you, I mean, so we could wait longer. Let's take a vote. We can wait until more people reach, until the actual model people them reach, or we can just do it now, and then everybody watches the video. But I need some people to follow along to make sure that it actually works. You guys are in different parts of the world, so you would be the proof of the pudding. And you will get to leave early because we get to start early. It was like, what? Yep, I'm down.
That is fair.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think this would take. Huh?
Can start them, sir, cause
I don't think this would
when I
take
see
more
them
than an
after
hour,
hours
you know.
too.
I don't see this taking more than an hour. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so does everyone have Rivet? Does everyone has the same version of Rivet? Please.
I have 2020.
Okay. Shanika, what you have?
2020.
Lovely.
2020.
Same
Jordan.
2020.
2020.
What? It's a lucky day today. I tell you, it's a lucky day. All right, great. Now, do each of you have a Windows computer?
Yep.
And do all of you
Yes,
have
sir.
OneDrive? Well, yeah, duh. From you have Windows. You have Windows 10, right? Nobody have
Yep.
Windows 7. Okay, thank goodness.
What Windows 7, sir?
Yes.
I don't. UTech. No, I'm lying. We got Windows 10 last semester. I got a Windows 10 machine on my desk last semester, so I'm very grateful. And the computer lab had Windows 10 last semester. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's recent.
Exactly, sir.
All right. So OneDrive, what I need 3 of you to do is, do you have space in your OneDrive?
That's the thing. I don't think so.
No.
I doubt it, sir. I'm trying to find out as we speak.
So I don't think anyone who did like what name that history course there has space left in their OneDrive.
Oh. No, but either way, no, it is best that you guys actually open a OneDrive just for the project. And 3 of you are from one project, so I guess you would have just done it for you.
Like create a new account, sir.
Yes, a new account, but not a new account for your Windows. Don't have anything to do with your Windows. It is just a new. Somebody else is coming in. It is just a new account for the project and just for OneDrive. So it won't affect like if you use Windows to log in or you use like the mail app and all of these other think calendar, it won't affect those.
Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
mine is full.
So what if I lose
No,
connection
just make one.
during this thing?
Just make one.
Just make a new OneDrive. One person need to make it and give the credentials to everybody. If you lose connection through this, I mean, you just like what you normally do. You just rejoin, but the work that you're doing would not lose connection. Meaning, it's not like your Revit when stop working or nothing like that. Okay, lastly, Mr. Nisbet is here, and who else came in? Harrison. So here's what we're going to do. I don't think I'm going to get one entire team. So I'm just going to do with this makeshift temporary team just so that we can get through this example. Because remember, this is how you will collaborate on your 3D model. This is also a belated version of your major project from BIM. Oh Lord! Because remember that you guys skipped the collaboration exercise, which But guess what? It's not that bad of a deal, because if you would have had to have done this anyway, because what you would have done last year if there wasn't any COVID, you would have to change it up for now when there is COVID and you're all not in the same location. All right. Now you do have the choice. You guys are like in fourth year now, so you do have the choice to not use this method and just like say, you know what, I want to go the traditional route, and you do an elevation, you do a section, you do a plan, and I put it together in a document. That's like the traditional way, not the BIM way. So you do have that choice if you want to do it that way, and then being problem when you're looking for jobs and they're asking you, do you know how to use collaboration in BIM? Right? Hint, hint, right? It is hot bread now, because in some offices today you're seeing the craziness happen where 5 people using 5 different programs. Can you imagine if you're working on a building and you say, all right, export your elevation and give me so I can draw it in Vectorworks, and then I will export it back to you and give you in AutoCAD. That's just insane. So, okay, have you made the credential yet?
Working on it.
Working on it. Okay. I'm going to give you the application now. Now, this application will allow us to circumvent using BIM 360, which of course, is a subscription service, which only gives you 30 days under the student version. And that's the next challenge, because some of us don't have the student version. So you'd have to uninstall the Revit that you have and install the student version and make an Autodesk login, and So I'm not depending on that method. We do use it in the lab though. So the year before last, that group who use the 360, they did all their work in the lab, because the labs had the same version of Revit, all student versions, and all they had to do was to log in their 360 account. So, but they had 30 days to do the work. And one group didn't finish in 30 days. And I believe Miss Matandara actually wrote to Autodesk and begged them for an extension in the trial, and they gave her, actually. So that was interesting. But I don't know, it sounds risky to me.
That's cool.
Talk about deadline, right? Okay. Let me look for the application here. It's called Visual Subst. SUBST. Yeah, is that one of those programs that a little programmer smart guy make? Right? So one of those open source kind of apps. Very small, doesn't need to install. But what it allows you to do is to create a virtual drive on your computer. So I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. It's really simple. And you can use it for just your regular work. Hey, let me tell you something. Most people who are using the collaboration in Revit, you know, it's like the norm for them. Like when they open a new Revit file, they just create a what's it called? They just create a central file, because some firms that you go to, mostly overseas, they don't have a local Revit. Like nobody uses Revit as in you have a Revit file and you do your work. Every file is collaborated between everybody. It's something that we have to get used to locally, because we're still kind of more individualized out here. But anyway, I do believe I can send you files in the chat. Have you created the handout? Hear me. The login yet?
Verifying no, sir.
All right, lovely. So you can just create it for your group, you know, and everybody just use that just for this exercise. Mr. Nisbet, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, you can go vote here just saying a while ago.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Don't hear anything from Harrison yet. And all I see is Shamika's background. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. One sec. Okay. Okay, Mr. Mares here. Hold on. We're getting everybody slowly but surely. Do we actually have two teams here? Do I have at least two persons from each team?
You do know.
Lovely. Okay. So each team, you are to create a OneDrive account, right? A Hotmail account, essentially. Just for the group. Just for this. Just for collaborating and doing this 3D model. Hang on one sec. I have to win some. Yeah, I have to win some now. I'm in a class. If you do the work, you have to win some. If you do the work, you have to win some. And stop this foolishness.
You hear that? Corona.
Tell me when you're ready. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, are we
Oh.
creating a
And to win some, give him a minute.
Microsoft account?
Let me call you back.
And lad, sir, what did the child?
Hello?
See a face of
That's to me, right?
Say again?
a face of child.
So are we creating a Microsoft account?
Yes, you're creating a Microsoft account. It's not going to affect your login. It is just for the OneNote.
The OneNote or the OneDrive, sir?
OneDrive.
Okay then.
I created it. How do I share this? Don't know
Okay,
if you use
so
OneDrive now.
yeah, man, no worries. All right, so let me jot down these steps as we go along. So, Mr. Nisbet, you're on the model team.
Yes.
Okay. Candice, which team are you on again?
No, sir, I'm not on the model team, and I just here to observe.
Okay, cool. So for this
But
exercise,
Mario is on the model team and Kwame.
okay, good. So this exercise, we are simulating how we will work collaboratively in building the 3D model using Revit and the collaboration tool, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
all right. So we need 2 participants from each team, being that we have most persons now. So the first thing we need to do is to create a OneDrive account. We need a cloud space in order to collaborate with files. But there's a reason why I suggest OneNote and not like Dropbox or what's the other one again?
Google Drive.
Google Drive. OneNote integrates better with OneDrive integrates better with the Windows systems. Work a little better. When you start having duplicate files and file have to replace files and multiple people throw in files, the computer kind of doesn't handle that so well when you're using a third-party program like Google Drive. All right? Or at least I don't trust it as well. I've had bad experiences with them. But because OneDrive is integrated, it's a part of Windows. Who knows? Maybe Microsoft make it that way. It just handles that better. Oh geez, my thing isn't plugged in. All right, so where's my plug? One second, plug it. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to, when you create this OneDrive, you're gonna there are 2, it is just like a Google Drive, and it's just like you are sharing a folder or inviting somebody to a shared folder. So it can be that the lead model person creates it or anybody in the team, but then you would need to invite persons to that folder. So this is your group members. So what I want you to do is, when you create it, I want you to also send me an invite as well. All right.
How do I send the invite?
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Let's go with this screen here. All right. All right, so let's go here. All right, so when you, OneDrive, if you're using a Windows computer, it is already on your computer. So if you look down here, let me go down here. You should have OneDrive right here. It looks like this little cloud thing right here. Right? Now, you don't have to, everybody doesn't have to use this new OneDrive account that you created. one person can create it and just kind of invite everybody else. That should work. I don't know how OneDrive treats it if you are running out of space though. So we'll have to experiment and see how that goes. So when on a Windows computer, let me zoom out. When you click here, you might already be signed in into an existing OneDrive. If you are, then what you would need to do is to sign out. So you go to here and you go to Miss Tracy is here. Help and you go to settings. You see settings come up there, and actually you can add an additional account. That's great. So you don't have to like sign out, you just add another one. All right. Okay. So have the two groups created a OneDrive account?
Nice.
Oh, we're working on it, sir.
Okay, good. So what you can do is in order for that person to invite the other members of that group, you will need to know the Hotmail address of everybody else, right? So I'm going to post in the chat my Hotmail address. Yeah?
Man is saying I have to unsync the one I have now to sign in.
Yeah. Okay. But you are the one creating the account for your team, right? Okay, so you have to do that then. But the other persons don't necessarily have to do that. They can just accept your invitation to that folder. So that is one group. Who is representing the other group?
So I'm only seeing the option to pause syncing, not whatever.
Okay, what you do, just do this, unlink this PC. All right. Is another group doing this or just one person for now? It looks like it's
so
just...
another group is doing it. Sir, for
So who is...
this.
Oh, Candice, you're creating the OneNote. Okay, good. All right, so you need to make a new Hotmail account. And do you have a Windows computer, right? Windows 10, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, lovely. So the first thing is to make a new OneDrive. And just to make this process simple, you're going to unlink this PC. So I'm going to do the same thing, just so that we can follow step by step. So I'm going to unlink it.
You can repeat what you just said.
You're making a new OneNote. Sorry, you're making a new Microsoft account. And then...
Yes, sir, I made it already.
Okay, good. So now on your computer, down at the lower right-hand side, you see the little cloud for OneDrive. So you're going to right-click it and choose Settings, and then go to Settings. And then this dialog box will come up.
Oh, I don't see a cloud on my computer.
You don't have one? Okay. And it's not running in any of these little dialog tray icons down here?
No, sir.
No? Okay, well,
start menu.
Yeah, just go start and type OneDrive. And you will see the OneDrive folder comes up. Does that work?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So are you on this window with me?
No, sir. For OneDrive, my personal folders come up.
Okay, good. All right. Now go back to your Windows and look down on the lower right-hand side in your system tray. You should see the cloud come up now.
No, sir.
Still no?
Oh, sir, I'm in the folder thingy.
Okay, all right. Well, we figure out that. You
Hold on,
unlinked.
sir. It says OneDrive.
What does it say?
I found the cloud, but it's gray with a minus sign.
That's no problem. That does probably mean you don't. So just right click it and go to settings.
Okay.
Oh man. You know that, man. For whatever reason, my pen is not. I think my battery finished in my pen, and I have this weird battery. It's not a AAA, it's a quad A battery. It's so weird. I think it's done.
Mr. Sir,
Yep.
I'm in the folder now.
Okay. Now hold on. How much people doing this? It should be one. It should be one from each group.
Yes, one from each group. Me from this group and Candice from another group.
Right. Cool. Stupid pen not working. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Our objective is I have to like type. Okay, right. 1. Good. You can see that, right? It's not too blurry. It's probably tiny. But anyway, our objective is Rivet. We want Rivet to sync to a drive. We're going to call that, let's call that drive, I don't know, give it a letter, P for projects. So we want Rivet to sync to a drive P. So drive P is where your project will be stored. But drive P is really located in your OneDrive. And that is the basic relationship that we want to set up now. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
So we're setting up OneDrive. We're going to create a drive P, and then we will save our project to that folder. And all of us will connect to OneDrive. Or rather, all of your team will connect to OneDrive. And all of your team would have had a drive called drive P. And that is how we will trick Rivet. All right. So that's essentially in a nutshell what we are doing. So first thing we're doing.
Unlink this PC.
Yes. So you're going to unlink your PC. Mr. Allen.
Account.
Yes, sir. Afternoon. Question: the drive P is within the OneDrive, right?
Yes, the drive P will be a virtual drive that is going to trick the computer into thinking that you have a drive actually named drive P, but it's really your OneDrive.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me say again, what we're doing now, this activity, it needs to be done by preferably the model lead, the person that is leading the charge on the 3D model. It doesn't have to be, it just needs to be done by a member of each group. Right? So OneDrive will be our location that we will collaborate on. Okay, good. So follow me now. So you're gonna, if you have OneDrive synced already, we're gonna unlink it. So I'm gonna unlink my OneDrive, and I'm gonna set up a new OneDrive. I'm just gonna use like another email that I have laying somewhere. So I'm gonna sign into an account rather than create an account, but I guess you guys will be creating an account, right? So the new account that, let's say I created, I'm gonna call it Creative Masters. No, I think that was what I was signed in as. Crap. So I need to make up a new one. I'm gonna call it. Give me one. Give me one. Pixel. That's 3D Studio. Do I have one? Oh yes. Brian Williams JM at Hotmail. Good. Then I'm gonna sign in. So you guys would be signing into the account that you made. Good. Put in my password. Okay, here comes an important part. You're gonna go next. Okay, so you can just say don't send data. So go to accept. All right, here's the important part. You're going to choose the location that you want to store your OneDrive, your OneDrive files, right? Now, because I unlinked my previous drive, I don't want to store it in that same location. You understand? Because I don't want to mix up this with the previous files that I had. So I'm going to go to change location, and I suggest most of you do this. And I'm going to choose like just another random location on my computer. So let's see. I'm going to go to maybe my documents, and I will just make a new folder in my documents, and I will call it Project Cloud. How about that? Project Cloud? I don't know. Okay, let's call it Project Cloud. Actually, Project Cloud OneDrive. Don't make it too long.
Mr. Williams.
Yeah? Yeah, man, you hearing me?
Oh, I don't get the notice. Yeah, I'm hearing you. And I a notification to change location. I get send optional data to help improve these apps.
Yeah, man, go next. Go next. It will come up. Maybe I don't even want to make it this long.
You can't use the location.
Yeah, man, ignore that. So now you're going to browse. So go to your My Documents. I think that's a safe location to put it. So go to your My Documents and make a folder. Call it something. Call it Project OneDrive. You don't want to make the name too long because Windows have a 256 character limit, by the way. So you don't want to ever make a folder path too long. Okay, now the other team members, you guys need to stand by because they are about to share with you, to invite you to this project location, all right? But let's finish this process first. All right, so you're gonna select that folder and you will notice the folder comes up here. So this will be it makes a folder called OneDrive in Project OneDrive. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this okay? I hope this is not too long. I don't like how this is long, Because remember, after this, you're going to have your Rivet folder in there, and then Rivet will name its files and put its folders in its files. Okay, here's what. Go to change location. This is where I suggest that you put this folder. Go to your C drive. Then go to your user folder. Everybody has a user folder. You following me, Candice?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm going to use and then I'm going to make the new folder right here. So I'm gonna instead of just naming it, I'm just gonna choose select folder. So that way it will give me, oh crap, it can't create it here. Oh, you bastard. Why does it do that? Oh well, I guess we have no choice.
Can't you just move the project?
No, I will let's just use My Documents. let's just use documents. So just click on documents and click select folder. So your folder path should look like this. It should be in your user, your username, your documents, and then you have a folder called OneDrive. All right, tell me if you're there.
Sir, mine just automatically came up in users.
Okay, but you don't want it to mix with your previous OneDrive files, all right?
Yes, sir. I changed the whole thing that you just did from.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So I will not bother using the specific project OneDrive folder.
Yes. Hold on, repeat that question.
We're not going to use the project OneDrive folder.
No, because it makes the path too long. So you're just going to go to documents and just choose documents, and it will create a folder called OneDrive for you.
Okay.
Then you're going to choose next. And that ends this process. So you're not going to go to premium. You're not going to pay $6.99 a month, most definitely. And you just can skip all of this stuff. Skip. Later, you can get the mobile app later. And then you can just go to open my OneDrive folder. And it will now open. There we go. So this is what your OneDrive folder should look like. You guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, lovely. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to invite we are going to invite persons to the project folder. So we're going to create a folder now in OneDrive. So we'll go to new folder and we're going to call this, you can call it the name of your team. So in my case, I'm going to call it, I don't know, lecturer project. So give it your team name. And when you give it your team name, you are going to invite the rest of your team members to this folder by right click and choose share. You should get a dialog box like this. And you're going to type in everybody's Hotmail address in here.
Hotmail, sir.
Yes, or Outlook. It needs to be, everybody needs to have a Microsoft account. Now, they don't have to log in with the new one that you created. They can just use their existing account and that folder will be added to their OneDrive. Okay, so can you guys do that quickly? So I want you to add two more persons to this list.
So, sir, what if it's Gmail?
No, it has to be Microsoft.
Okay, so they can use the school email?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I tried it with my school email and it didn't work.
When you say a school email, what do you mean?
The one the school provided, like Candace, middle initial, last name.
Mm-hmm.
No, but what happened is that, remember, they need to access this project folder through OneDrive's cloud. So if they use that email to log into their OneDrive, then yes, they can use it. You follow me? But if not, then they can't. So whatever credential they use to sign into their OneDrive, that is what you need to put here. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. All right. In this case, I'm going to share it with my other computer beside me. I'm going to pretend that my other computer is another team member. So that is creative. mastersjm@hotmail.com. So there it is. So I have shared this with a person. So you can enter everybody's name in one time and just click send. So that's what I want you to do now.
Okay, sir. Sir, some persons are saying to give them a few minutes.
Yeah, man, I'm giving you 2 minutes. 2 is a few, right?
2 is a couple. A few is like 5.
All right. I give you 5 minutes. So remember, only one person needs to create this, and then they need to share it with the rest of
So sorry. Well, you say it has to be a mail.
It has to be a Microsoft or Outlook email address. And it has to be accessible by the OneDrive. So that must be the email you use to access your OneDrive.
Okay.
Wait, could you repeat that, Candice?
Sir said that it can't be a Gmail email. It has to be a Microsoft email, the Outlook email address, and it has to be the one that you use to access your OneDrive. So even if you make a new one right now, it's still going to give you access to a OneDrive. So just make
Wait, the
sure.
same number Gmail account me use.
Exactly, that's what I used and it worked fine.
Oh
So
well, if that email accesses your OneDrive, it's supposed to be okay.
yeah, so anything
Alright,
that
Rose.
accesses your OneDrive.
Yeah, make a send it to you and try it
Yeah.
with my regular email, Rose.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use our Gmail.
We're waiting on the guinea pigs.
Well, let us find out now.
Okay.
Oh, we
You
connect.
can connect your Gmail to your like your computer, then it can work. So like how you open OneDrive, you can sign up with a Gmail account. If you do that from long time, it can work.
Yes, true. In the past, you used to can sign up for OneDrive with Gmail. I don't know
Sir,
if
my Gmail worked fine when we did history and Sir used it. So
as whatever credential you use to access your OneDrive, that's what you need to share. Okay. Okay, so I have shared this with myself. Now I'm going to pretend to be my other self now to accept my invitation that I have just shared.
Sir, could you just verbally repeat how you start the sharing?
Oh, the
On the
sharing. So
Yeah.
hold on. Remember, it's only one person per team need to
Yeah,
do
man,
this,
I
you know.
understand, sir.
Okay, okay.
Just a minute.
So on the computer that you've created the new OneDrive folder, which this is it. I created a folder that is going to be our project folder.
Right.
So I right click and choose share. It's remember it's integrated into Windows. So you don't need to go in the browser to do it. You can, but you don't need to. So you right click and go to share, and then this window will come up and you type the person's Microsoft account that you want to share the folder with.
All right, sir. Gotcha.
Yeah. While I do this, everybody who is participating, oh, I just realized I didn't send you that app. Everybody who is participating needs to use this app. I'm going to just send it as a file. I'm going to send it in Zoom. This process only seems long because the first is doing it, but Like anytime I'm doing a Rivet drawing, I don't just open Rivet and start drawing. I open Rivet, I create a central file, and then I start drawing. Because anybody who wants to work on it with me, I can just invite them and they can immediately start working. I don't have to like, section off a piece of the work to say, all right, you work on this floor and then email it back to me when you work on it. A lot of us has gotten used to Google Docs, right?
Yep.
So gone are the days when you email the introduction and then I put it together with the contents and somebody emailed chapter 1. I mean, that's just ridiculous now, Gone are those days. If you're not collaborating real time, you're not saying anything, eh?
Done, sir.
Okay, so you have shared it with your team members. Okay, now for the team members accepting the invite, you need to do it in a particular way. I'm going to show you how to do that. I just need to find.
Wait, sir, when you say in a particular way, what do you mean? Because I got it and I just open it and it seems fine.
Yeah, so, but the particular is what I'm going to explain. The particular way. I'm sharing this app with you called Virtual. Where is it? Where is it? Visual Subst. I think that's how it's pronounced. It is a WinRAR file. Everybody knows WinRAR, right? Like WinZip?
Yep.
Right. It has a password on it. Password is 1234. Okay.
So even the person who created the OneDrive folder have to use this app?
Yes. This is the little app that will allow us to circumvent Autodesk 360. Right. You can also use this for many other things as well, like I don't know, like sharing files between yourselves or whatever but we need to use this app because of how Rivet works. Rivet is a special case.
So
all
what
right.
is it? The password for it? 1234?
Yeah, 1234. You don't need to install it. It's a portable app. You just need to put it somewhere that you will remember. My documents are, I don't know. As a matter of fact, maybe put it in your OneDrive folder so you'll always have it. All right?
Okay.
Circumvent Autodesk 360.
Say again?
What do you mean by circumvent Autodesk 360?
The way how you collaborate in Rivet over the internet is via using Autodesk 360, which is a subscription service. It's free to students, but only for 30 days. So if we use it, then you will have 30 days in which to complete your project. And you will also have to have the student version of Rivet installed. So if you don't have the student version, you'd have to uninstall and reinstall. So I want to avoid all of that complication. And I'm just showing you this method by which you can collaborate through the cloud, especially now that that's the only solution.
Okay.
Right? Under normal circumstances, you would have a choice. You could go in the lab and just use the lab computers and, but now, you have to work through the cloud. So,
right, which means it matters not where your Rivet is from because, my source of Rivet.
It doesn't matter where your source is from, but you do need to be using the same version of Rivet. Right, and so far, 2020 is the leading vote.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. Now, for those of you who are receiving the invitation, right? So I'm going to go into my OneDrive on the internet. This is the thing now, because for those of you who have OneDrive, it is not going to show up in the way that is usable for Rivet. Let's put it that way. I would need you to go, those of you accepting the folder invitation, to go to onedrive.com. Well, I should actually do this on the computer that I'm receiving. So let me switch over. Okay, so this is the computer that I am, this is my other self, right? And I'm going to use
Question, sir, just before you move on. In terms of the version of Rivet, does it have to be 2020? Can we use 2019?
Your entire team have to use the same one. So if you use 2019, everybody have to use 2019. And as you know about Rivet, it's a one-way street, right? So, right. So, yeah.
Yeah, guys, I can use all 2004.
But everybody has to be using the same. So, yeah, you'd have to make that choice for the team. But so far, it looks like most people have 2020. Okay, so those of you now who are accepting the invite, so you're going to sign in into your personal OneDrive. You don't have to use the new one that's created. You know, if you don't have to, you don't have to. Masters JM. Oh. Good. So I'm going to sign in now and no. Now, once you sign in, you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So these are you who are receiving the invitation. Right. So once you sign in, you're going to go to shared and you should see the invitation pop up. Where is my invitation? I shared it from Brian Williams. It should be at the top. Shared by me. Link sent to me Wednesday. No, is it this? No, this is not it. Did I send it to my right self? Let me see. Oh, I didn't click send, you know. Jeez. I only left it there on the screen, but I did not click send. So I'm going to send, and of course users have to be able to edit. So, but that's the default option. Good. So I've actually clicked send now. So when I go to share, I should see it pop up, hopefully. All right, good. Windows got it. Come on. Here it is. Good. So here it is. Lecturer project. You guys seen that? You with me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what you need to do now, you need to select it and you need to choose up the top, add to my OneDrive. That's important. You have to choose this option.
You want to do that again, sir?
For those of you who are receiving the invite from your team members, you're going to sign into your OneDrive.
Yeah.
And you're going to look under shared and look for that invite. So in this case, this was me inviting my other self. I'm going to select it with the little tick at the top and then choose add to my OneDrive. So that's important.
Sir.
Yeah.
Oh, what if they say that your OneDrive is full?
Oh crap. They said that for you?
Yes, sir.
Well, if they say that, then hear what? You need to sign out of that OneDrive and sign into the OneDrive that was created then. Because you have no space or you have to create space.
What do you mean the OneDrive that was created? Because I signed into the Microsoft one and then I signed into one that the way you just did it by going to OneDrive.com.
Right, but remember that when you're adding this folder to your OneDrive, apparently your OneDrive has to have the space to accommodate it. That means your OneDrive is totally filled then.
I only have one thing in, well, no, that's my files.
No, but how you can know? Look at the lower left-hand part of your screen here. See? Amount used. So I have 1.8 gigs free of 5 gigs.
But I can delete things and I'll
All
have
right,
space. Right?
do that quickly. I don't think for this
Yeah,
project you will need more than a gig or 500 megabytes or something.
yeah. Whenever I select it,
Okay.
the option to add to OneDrive disappear.
It disappears.
Yeah. So like if I don't select it, I can see add to OneDrive. But when I do select it, it's it just nothing.
You don't see this up top.
Yeah, that's when I don't select it. But when I do select it, I don't see that anymore. It says download and stuff.
Okay. For the person who shared your OneDrive, are you allowed to hold on? Yeah, are you allowed to edit? That's the default though. So you
Yep.
Sure, I was able to add it and I see Visual Subs 3.7 portable
Yeah,
come.
I uploaded
Oh, you
the
put it in that
file
folder.
thing.
Okay, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
Yes,
good.
I can see what's in the folder now.
All right. Nisbet, what is happening with you? I'm not. Is anybody else getting that issue with Nisbet?
So the thing is, I using what's the name? VMware Fusion. Because remember I use Mac.
Oh yeah, you have a Mac, but that shouldn't affect you. It should work like normal. You should, and this is in a browser, by the way. So this don't have anything to do with your computer. This is you. So you're under shared in your account,
Yeah,
and you see it come up in shared, right?
yeah,
On the left hand side, do you have enough space?
yeah.
Where,
I'll have 18.9 megabytes used.
okay, and when you click on it, you're able to browse the folder.
It downloads something, sir.
No, ma. Hold on. You sure you're in what you have a Microsoft account? What you
Yeah,
used to sign in to Microsoft?
sir, I'm in OneDrive right now, sir.
So you're in your OneDrive,
Yes,
but yet
yes,
when you go
yes,
in
yes.
shared, you're not able to browse the folder. You only download it.
Sure, let me share my screen.
Okay. Share your screen. Mr. Allen, you getting through?
See?
Again, sir.
That is so weird. So when you right click it, so you can't open it. You can only download it.
That's the file that you sent, sir. I uploaded it in there so that
No
everyone
man,
could see
hold
it.
on, hold on, hold on. No man, you're in the wrong thing. Go back to shared Nisbet. Right. You're not looking for the file, you're looking for the folder that she shared. Which is
Which is
that.
Cameroon. Yeah,
Exactly.
made it.
Yeah, yeah, when I open the file, that's the first thing that came up. When I opened the file, the link, that's the first thing that came up.
Good. Right. And she has placed it in the folder as well.
Yeah,
Good. All right, good.
right.
All right. The computer doesn't lie, right? Okay, so I'm going to share back my screen again. All right. Is there anybody else getting any more difficulties? Hopefully not.
Yeah, I deleted everything.
And what? You're still not able to?
Yeah,
It say you don't
I'm
have enough space?
no, I have space. Wait, Rose going to send me the file again.
It's not a file, you know. It's a folder. She has invited you to share to view a folder.
Okay, and it should be in my shared.
Right. Make sure you look for the folder. The
Yeah,
folder that's called Cameroon.
there's only one thing in here.
Good. So are you able to
It's not
add it?
it. This is from studio.
Scroll down in the list, man. It's because I had to scroll down in my shared list for me to find what was shared.
There's no option to scroll. Okay, something just came up.
Probably it was taking a little
Oh,
time. Okay, now I want you to verify for me, everybody who accepted the invite, you are supposed to know when you go to your OneDrive folder, So I've opened my OneDrive folder on my other computer, my alternate me, and you should see now that new folder that you added to OneDrive. So I go add to my drive, and now it should come up in your OneDrive on your computer. So this is key for you to now receive the file. So here is that file that's called lecture project.
Yes, sir. I see it come up.
Good. And when you go in there, you should see the virtual subs that was shared, right?
Yes, sir. It's there.
Okay. So let us move to the next step. So the first step was setting up a network with OneDrive so we can all access one folder on our computers. The next step is to set up virtual subs, visual subs. Shamika, look like you're still having difficulty. Is that so? You're still not seeing it?
No, I see it. But
okay.
I should download it?
No, you should add it. Add to my OneDrive.
Okay. Okay.
Good. So now that folder is now on your computer now, physically on your computer. Or should I say virtually on your computer? If you go to your OneDrive folder, you should see that folder now. So that is the important part. So both teams are seeing their folders on their computers. Now, here is what you need to do now. Now, the virtual, the visual subs, you are going to know, here it is. Copy that visual subs to your computer. Don't leave it in the OneDrive folder, just in case somebody delete it and it goes away. So I want you to copy it. So for me, I have it in a folder called, here it is, portable apps. So I'm going to copy it to a location that I can remember, like maybe a desktop, since it's going to be pretty recent. So I'm going to paste it in on my desktop here. And I'm going to right click and choose extract. So I'm going to extract it to my desktop. Put in the password, which is 1234. So here it is. So if I take a look on my desktop, I now have this folder here that's called visual subs. There. I can always, I can just delete the RAR file, or I can just put it somewhere else for now. All right. Okay, good. Now when I go in,
sorry.
Yeah.
The app isn't opening.
Oh, it's a RAR file. Do you have WinRAR? You have a program that can extract it?
I see torrent.
Oh, no, you don't. Okay, so for those of you who are unable to open that file, what you need to do is to download WinRAR. So if you go to your browser and just type WinRAR, it's the first thing that comes up, WinRAR archiver. It's like WinZip, so you just download, choose like, if you have a 64-bit Windows, which more likely you do have, you click 64-bit, it will download and you install it. It's a free application.
Sure, what's the name?
WinRAR.
Sir, I'm not sure. Is the icon like, is this like a modem thing with a green arrow?
Right. So when you extract the folder, you go in the folder, right? This is what the folder looks like.
Oh
you
yeah,
go in that folder,
right.
it looks like this green icon here.
And
all
then
right?
click yes and
So
add.
hold on. You jump ahead. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
All right, now we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna show you this now on both computers. So where is my OBS? Here's my OBS. I'll switch to both computers here. Right, good. But it's so small. Can you guys see the text? Like if I zoom, can you see the text on one? In that window? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can now. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Ready.
good.
No, okay, I see it now.
I know. I'm going to zoom in. I just want to be able to show both computers. So I'm simulating what you guys are doing as much as possible. Okay, good. So now I also have, I also need to have visual stuff. Remember, everybody needs to have this little app, this little portable app, right? So I'm also going to put it on the desktop of the person who originally shared the project, right? So everybody needs to have this. I'm going to extract it. It's a nice little application. I'm sure you guys will find use for it in the future.
Sir, when I went to download it, I said 32-bit.
No, download the 64-bit one, preferably. Because you have 64-bit Windows, so the 32-bit will work, but just to make life simpler. All right, so
this says administrator privilege to set the drive label
yeah,
for the
man.
first line.
Hold on. Don't jump ahead yet. Okay, good. So when you run Visual Subst, it says, would you like to create 3 virtual drives? Right? Now you're going to say, no, you do not want to create 3 virtual drives. Oh, it might ask you for administrator privilege, say yes or whatever, because it will do that. Everybody got that? You don't want to create 3 drives now. That's just too much. You just don't want to. You guys are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Okay, good. So I'm going to say, no, I do not want to create 3 drives. Now, I do want to create 1 drive. That's like a double meaning. A single drive. You understand, right? Not 1 drive as in the application. All right. Now, this is what the program looks like when you run it. Cool. Now, what you're going to do is, do you need to change these? Not necessarily, but I would, yeah, let's leave that. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a drive letter. Now, here's the important thing. Everybody needs to choose the same drive letter. This is what Rivet will be looking for. So I'm suggesting drive P, because most people don't have a drive P. Oh, actually, I have a drive P. Crap. So I have to choose like U or something. I don't have a drive U.
Sir, how are you going to know if you have a P, U, or J?
You can know that when you go to your this computer, right? And you see all your drives. See, so I only have, oh, actually, I only have 1 drive. Oh, Lord. I thought I had P. Oh, no. My other computer has, yeah, but it does not have P. So I could have used P. Yes, I could. Okay, good.
It's about the letter that starts the whole whatever is there.
Go again.
I don't know what to ask you, sir.
Brother, it's just a letter to identify the drive.
Yes, it's just a letter. Do not choose A or B. Don't choose A or B. Preferably don't choose nothing up to the beginning. Just choose something in the middle. Or C. Well, you can't choose C, but okay. So I'm going to use P for project. That will help you to remember. Now we're going to label it. So here's the thing. I suggest you label it your group name or the project name. So you want to call it like major project, or name it something that you will remember. When you go to your my computer or this PC and you see it, you'll be like, what is this drive? And you don't get it mixed up with like a thumb drive or something like that.
Sir, what would happen if we saved it as A or C? I'm just asking because I'm curious.
Well, you can't save it as C, and what happens is that A is like, back in the day, A used to be a floppy drive. Anybody remember what's a floppy drive?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what happened? You still have some legacy programs that might detect drive A as a floppy drive, and that might cause some issues. You know, so you just want to possibly avoid that. And you don't want to use B because even further back in time, like the dawn of the dinosaurs, you used to have the 5.5 floppy, and that used to be drive B.
Thank you, sir.
So you just want to avoid. And then now you have C now, which is to this date is still your boot drive.
Okay.
But we have thrown away A and B because we don't use floppy drive anymore. Okay, good.
Thank you.
I'm a little confused.
Well, with
Our
that,
mind keeps disappearing. So can you just tell me the path to choose? No, is it that we're going to choose the folder in the OneDrive or just any path? I don't know.
yes, that's what we're going to do. Sorry to be taking so long. So we're going to call this we're going to call this call it the name of your project. So I'm going to call this lecturer project. And yes, you are absolutely right. For the path, I'm going to go to my OneDrive and I'm going to choose the path that the folder that I created and say okay.
And add it.
Then before I add it, I want to do this. I don't know what everybody's computer is doing or what have you, but I want to choose. What happened to my mouse? Did my battery finish? Oh, it's back. Okay. I'm going to choose create.
Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we hear you.
Oh,
But
the connection went. Okay. Am I back?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
when I had installed the WinRAR setting up,
Mm-hmm.
it had asked, do you want this program to make changes to your computer?
So you say yes.
Yes, sir.
Wait,
And when I
wait.
said yes, it came off and like was setting up, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what WinRAR does. It nothing
Yeah,
special going to
but sir,
happen.
I see other than my C drive, I see 3 other drives.
Right. That was perhaps because you made Visual Subs create 3 drives, but that's not a problem. We can get rid of them.
Wait,
So
I have
can
a
I delete
problem.
them?
Yes, you can delete them. I'm going to show you. Next question.
Okay, good.
My WinRAR setup, a screen came up that says WinRAR setting, and it has a lot of boxes with a lot of letters
Yep.
checked. Do I just say okay to that?
Yes, that is the
Yeah.
that shows like file types like ISO and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Say yes to that. Yes.
All right,
Yes.
and just
Thank you for
okay,
that.
done.
Sir, my question is for the path. I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to select.
Remember that you added that folder from the cloud in your OneDrive. So when you go to your OneDrive, you are supposed to see that folder that you added from the cloud. You're not.
Okay.
That's what you're right. So you understand what the program is doing. The program is basically reading your OneDrive as a drive P, and that is the secret sauce to be able to collaborate over the cloud flawlessly. It's almost as if all of you are using a universal thumb drive, if you know what I mean.
So you can send back the virtual subs thing.
It is in the OneDrive, so you should have it, and it's also in the chat, in the Zoom chat.
The thing is when you wait them there, sometimes it's not clear.
Go again?
If you lose connection or come on back, you lose what's in the chat.
Oh, I see. My bad. All right, so let me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and sir, when you finish sending off to call me, is it that we select the 2 first options from the list?
Yes, select the 2 first options. That's the safest bet. this thing that says create elevated drives and bypass UAC if possible. It's basic. UAC is your user accessible thingy. Basically, it's that thing that always pops up on your computer and you have to say, yes, I want to make changes. You want this to bypass that.
Okay.
You understand? Good.
Also,
Yes,
can you
sir.
show me how to get rid of these 3 other drives and let me start over?
Yes. Okay. So once you choose add, this will come up. So this is your UAC coming up, telling you that, this is going to make changes to your computer. That's no problem. You just say yes. Don't worry, it's not a virus or anything.
Sir.
And that's it. It should be here, and you should see virtual drive P. And you should also see in your this PC, you should now see a drive P.
Sir.
Yes.
You took forever, and my laptop is now labeling this as a virus, and it now run again, sir.
Oh Lord.
So
Yes.
look how long
What
me to
antivirus do you have?
let me look. McAfee.
You have McAfee. So you need to add it to your. So you does it come up and say detected an unknown app? And yes, you want to allow or no? Did it ask you that question, or it just
It
outright
didn't
block it?
ask me, it just block it.
No problem. So if you're using McAfee, you're going to have to share your screen because your interface is different from my antivirus. So let me.
Hold on, sir.
So before you share, I'm going to just to let everybody else. So this is what you do, guys. Now, if you have more drives here, all you have to do is click on the drive and click remove. Okay? Candice?
Yes, sir.
So you should only have a drive P. And that's all we need to do to set up a virtual drive that all of us can share together.
So, sir, I need to go back into the
virtual subs, the visual subs, right? Now, before I go to solve Rose's issue, visual subs, if you restart the computer, your drive P will disappear. You need to run the app. If you run the app and close it, the drive will still be there. But when you restart, it won't automatically create the drive. However, when you open back the app, it will tell you that Visual Subs detected that you had created a drive P. Do you want to reconnect it? And you say yes. So you don't have to keep making it back every time, but it does disable automatically when you restart. Everybody got that?
Yes, I just tried to find back the sub because it was on the desktop and now I can't find it.
It should be in a folder.
Wait. Sir, did you write in lecture project? Did you type that in?
Yes, that's the name of my project, lecturer project.
And what's the path? Where's the path?
It is in my OneDrive folder.
Oh, so just find that folder.
Right. But you're not looking for a lecture project, you're looking for your project folder that was shared to you.
That's the virtual subs.
No.
No, the Cameroon.
Right. Right.
Sir.
Yes.
All of us have to be doing this?
Yes.
So what about me who gone for like about 20 minutes now because JPS decided to come internet?
Oh Lord.
I have no clue what's happening.
No worries. The recording is here. And remember, all of your team members, at least the team members that are working on the model.
Okay, sir. So I don't have to do this.
Let me see it.
So
yes, if you're not working on the model, then you don't have to do this.
I just wanted to learn, so I'll just watch the video.
Right. But at the end of the day, everybody should have a drive P that is linked together.
Sir.
Oh, wow.
Okay, sir.
Call Mommy and tell her. Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
I deleted the extra ones and I did the drive P and then I did path and then I went to the Botswana folder.
Right. Good.
All right, sir.
Yeah. I come into your Rose. Yeah.
Sir, I download the virtual something and I download what's that? The Renoir thing as well.
Right. You didn't have WinRAR before?
No, I didn't. Sir.
Okay. All right.
And then, I should open the virtual sub and let it run.
No,
Right,
what
sir.
you need
Sir.
WinRAR in order to let virtual subs run. Yes, Rose.
It's working.
Yes. So share your screen now.
Hold on, like it's literally up. It's
Oh,
not
you got
blocked
it
anymore.
Oh, lovely.
I did some beep boop boop.
All right,
And
good. Some beep boop.
should I save it to the what? No, save it to the OneDrive thingy.
So you should choose path and find the folder, the same folder that you shared.
No, it's saying, do you want to allow this app to blah blah blah?
Yes.
Make
So you
changes.
say yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, done.
All right. So now, of course, if you put something in your Drive P, then all group members will see it. Everybody realize that?
Oh.
So that is pretty cool, and that makes life very easy if you want to share files. So that's why I'm saying that if you want to use this for your wider group project, you can. This is a method that you can use not only for Revit but for just working remotely. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So what is it? Which drive I should select? Or similar drive to my group members, right?
Right. So you're choosing Drive P. I'm assuming that it sounds like both groups are using Drive P.
I don't think so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Oh, Drive P my side?
Yes.
Right, so I select Drive P and then
go to path.
Yes, I'm at path. And put it in there.
Choose a label, write a label so you will remember what it is.
Label.
Right. So you will know what it, because remember the label is what will show up in your My Computer when you go to, and you might see this weird drive and wondering what is it for.
Okay, sir.
Right.
And then a path.
Yes, you go to path, and then in the path now you go to your OneDrive and you select your group folder that you have accepted to be in your OneDrive.
So when I select the group, I see it open. The group folder open and say test files.
Yes, so you say okay. You just choose okay there now, and then choose the first two options. The second option, which says create elevated drive and bypass UAC if possible. You're going to select that, and you're going to choose add, and that's it. You now have a Drive P.
Oh, sir, so I should allow it. Okay.
Yes, you should allow it.
Sir, mine says Cameroon P.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. I'm not.
Sir, we must press save.
Yes. Did you press save, Shamika?
Save from where?
Hold on.
In the OneDrive?
No, man. In the visual subs, when you create the drive, you're supposed to click add.
Yeah, I can't find the Cameroon file to add it.
Okay. Did you locate, when you click browse, did you locate the OneDrive folder that I'm showing you now?
Yeah, and I'm not seeing anything with the Cameroon labeling.
Okay, that means that you did not add it to your OneDrive. So you need to go back to your browser. As what you see I'm doing now. Go back to your browser. And remember where you went to go to shared?
Yeah.
You need to go to that folder and you need to click it, highlight it. You can just click the little thing in the corner, and then at the top you go to add to my OneDrive.
Sorry, after we click save, is something supposed to happen besides an administrator thing?
No. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to click save. Why is it save here?
I don't have add to my OneDrive.
You don't have?
No, I have shared, download, copy to, remove from shared list, embed.
Right. So it's already there. So, okay. So you have it shared already. So you're saying you're not seeing that folder in your OneDrive folder on your computer?
Sir, can I share screen and show you what I have so that simply doesn't get confused or if I'm doing the right thing.
Sure. You are clear to share
You
screen.
cannot share screen.
No, go on again. No, go on again.
So say it looks something like this. Down here. Cameroon P.
Right. So that's how it should look. It should almost look like it's a folder on your computer, naturally.
Yeah.
Like you plug in a thumb drive or something.
Yeah.
Right. And anything you put in that folder, all your team members will see.
Okay.
So Shamika.
I'm not seeing it in the OneDrive where you said the
All
visual
right, share
subs.
your screen. Let me see what you're doing. All right, so you are not see. Hold on, minimize that folder for me there. Yeah, go here. Yep, go to path. Go to OneDrive. And you're right, you're not seeing it. Why are you not seeing it? Okay, go to OneDrive. Go to the OneDrive icon. You did add it, but are you signed in as that user in your OneDrive? That's the question. So on your start menu or on your taskbar, which is docked to your right-hand side. No, not the menu. Go down to your little cloud icon, which is, yeah, that. Right, go to settings. Down bottom right. Yeah, and go to settings again. All right. Is that your user? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Right. So you need to.
How do I change it?
So you need to
Shamika,
unlink.
okay.
No, go to account, and you go to unlink. No.
Oh, unlink.
You want, hold on. Do you want to add another one in addition to this?
No, I'll just unlink.
You
Wait,
sure?
yes.
Right.
Yes, I
You do,
need to.
right. Okay. So
Yeah.
go to add addition. Or you could have just shared it to that account if you want. Do you want your group leader to just share it to the Romain account?
No.
Sure? Okay, good.
I'll just use my, because she already shared it to my account.
Right, good. All right. And that is your Hotmail login?
Yeah, this is
email
what I
for your
use
Hotmail? Okay, good, no problem.
to access OneDrive.
Okay. Are you sure? Oh, it's a URL ready. Oh, crap. So that means you have to unlink it. You have to unlink it. So you have to unlink it or share it to that one. The files will still be there, don't worry.
I just hope that not gonna cause no problem with anything else.
It shouldn't. If the other person need to use it, then they would just have to unlink yours and link back theirs. So, you know. Okay, I do believe we're ready for Rivet. Right? Everybody's, I don't hear from Nisbet. You get through?
It's a long time, you know.
Long time. All right. How is Jordan?
Sir, I'm up to date. I even see Brian come posting picture in the drive.
All right. So what we're gonna do, I don't know if you have started. Have you guys started to do your drawings yet? I'm gonna turn off your share screen now, Shamika, because I'm confident that you will get through now. All right. So I suspect that most of us haven't started the project yet, right?
You suspect, right?
So we are going to use a little placeholder in the interim to demonstrate how this will work, right? So we're going to open Rivet. So everybody should open Rivet. So I'm going to be opening Rivet on both of my alternate selves. There we go. Remember, everybody needs to be using Rivet 2020. Now, there needs to be a central file.
The group is using, sorry.
Say again?
Everybody should use what the group is using. What the group agreed on.
Right, which is Rivet 2020, no so?
Not from my group, sir.
Not for your group?
Used in 2019.
All right, no problem. So so the persons who are working with you now currently have 2019. Who else is working with you?
I have both 2019 and 2020.
Okay, good. Candice, good. So it's only two of you doing this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Lamar.
Mario has 2019.
Okay, good. Mario, oh. Yeah, but in this demonstration, no. Those who are in this, oh, Mario, oh, I don't hear Mario voice from morning.
Sir, but he was helping us.
Oh, okay. No, you see, it's because, you see, I work with camera, you know. Sometimes it's hard with the text. Anyway, all right,
So if I turn on the camera, everything goes.
All right, yeah, man, that's okay. All right, so you should have Revit open on both computers. Okay, now before we get started, we are going to quickly understand what is going to happen here. Has anybody used collaboration in Revit before?
I tried to, sir, but it's very difficult.
Nope.
Okay.
Headache.
It's only a headache because it's new. I remember when Revit just came out and we were like AutoCADians, and we said, who would use this very complicated program that's just
That was
a
me.
headache?
Oh my God.
There we go. And now it's like, why would I use AutoCAD? So it only looks like headache now because we are not really used to working collaboratively. But there are some people that you would go to and they would say, what? You're not using a central file? So how do you work together? They would be totally confused. So it just depends on your point of view, right? So what I want us to do is to just understand conceptually how we will use this program. Good. So you can see my whiteboard. Actually, no, you can't. Yeah, now you can. Good. Now the battery in my pen finish. So no. Now this is the part where the model lead need to remember. That's the key thing, the model lead, because when things get confusing or chaotic, the model lead need to help resolve most of these issues. All right. Okay. Model leads, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, let me see if this will work. Good. Good. It's working. All right. I'm actually drawing on my my tablet here, and I sync into the computer. Now, this in Revit has what's called a central file. And the notion of working in Revit, it's a little different than how we used to work in like AutoCAD and those other programs. Now, the central file that is created whenever a user wants to work on the file. So let's say that this is a user here. I'll just use a little stick man. And this user here, let's call this user Nisbet. Right? If you want to open the file and work on it, you would need to know, go to this central file and open it. Now, when you open it, what the central file is going to do is, stop moving around. It's going to create Nisbet local file. It's going to create a file just for Nisbet. You following me? Now that means that Nisbet has not opened the central file, but instead the central file has duplicated itself automatically. So you're not going to be allowed, nobody will ever edit the central file directly. So let's go to your other team member now. So let's say Candace, this time. Say again?
So the central file will be created by the model team lead, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we went through this already though.
Yes, I kind of feel like that too.
Yeah, in the last.
You went over
yes,
it in the last
I did a diagram like this. Right, but we didn't do it. We didn't do it though because of COVID. But we went through it conceptually.
In 3DM, yes.
In 3DM? No, man. It would be in BIM.
The last one.
Right, one in BIM. So do I need a refresher?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go over it again. Thank you very much.
All right. So now this is Candace, right? And Candace also needs to open this file. So when she goes and double click on the central file, central is going to give her a Revit file for herself. I just shorten your name here. Your local file. Now, so what is happening now is that Candace have her own file, Nisbet have his own file, and none of these files are the central file. They're all separate files. And this process repeats no matter how much people are on the team. Now, whenever Nisbet makes a change, he can choose to, I'm going to draw two, he can choose to save or he can choose to sync. The same for Candace. She can choose to save or sync. Now, when Nisbet saves, it only saves to his local file. When he syncs, it goes back to Central. And Central sends what changes anybody made back to Nisbet. Right? So syncing will send the file to Central and you receive any file, any changes that were sent. And this, in a nutshell, is how Revit collaboration works. Everybody understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you save and go to your bed, nobody will see your change. Now, just to make sure you understand this concept, let me create a scenario here. Let me delete this. Suppose Nisbet, go again?
Central file will be saved on the drive.
The local file would be saved locally on your computer.
Yeah.
No, man. I mean, the one drive that we just created, that's where the Revit central file will be.
Right, no, well, you can if you want, but the idea is the local file is saved on your computer. Only you have access to it, nobody else.
Hello. Okay. After the central file created, the local file that we have to sync it in order for it to go back to the central file, because nobody tamper the central file. Only when you sync it, the changes what you make go into the central.
Man, I get that, but what I'm saying, the initial file that will be made, it will be connected to the OneDrive that we just created.
Wait, what do you call the initial file?
I think he means the central file.
Right, yes,
Yeah,
the central file, right. So that central file will be created and placed on the OneDrive, and then everybody will leave it alone. And then when they try to access it again, nobody will be able to open it. Instead, Central will automatically create a local version for you to work in.
Okay.
So to make sure this concept syncs, let me troubleshoot let me give you some troubleshooting questions. So if Nisbet works on something for the project, right? And he synced to Central. You following me? Nate, you're too loud. and he synced to central, and then you lost your local file. Can Nisbet get back his changes? So
Yes,
let me.
sir.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because he synced his information to the central file, and that has nothing to do with your local file. Unless
Right.
it's that you
So
sync.
when Nisbet could go back to central and open another local file, and he would get back what he synced plus what everybody else did. Everybody follow that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, okay, now there are other things that can go wrong, but we won't go there. We're just going to continue so we can get through with this thing, all right? Okay, now to go into another kind of concept, right? And this is to let you understand now how do so many people work on the same file, right? So let's put this one side, and let us say that you had this building. So I'm going to draw this building here, and let's
Sir,
say,
I have a question. Sorry.
yeah.
So if it is that I'm working on my local file and I synced whatever it was and it got sent to the central file, but however, I'm continuing now and say I probably didn't sync it and I lost that information and I lose my local file. If I open a new local file from the central file, will I get back what was synced before?
Yeah, yes, you will get back what was synced before, but if you did not sync before you lost that local file, you can't get back anything.
Okay, yes, sir. That's why I was saying if I synced what I had before,
yes,
but then
you
I'm
would.
working on something new, but that probably wasn't saved and I lost that local.
You would get what you synced before, but you wouldn't get the new thing that you did.
Okay, even though
before.
it's a new local file, it will still be the same.
Even though it's a new local file, it will appear that it was the same file you were working on.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Right. Now, let's say we have this building here, and what I'm doing, notice I put this in three different I'm doing one more color. So I'm going to use green. There we go. That will be our tree. And let's throw in one more for the heck of it. Let's use that color. That looks like a sheet, right? Now, in order to not have absolute and total chaos with multiple persons working on one file, Revit have what's called work sets, right? Now, the idea is that you assign work sets before you start working, and then each person inherits the responsibility of the work set. So let's say that you have a work set here for creating the sheet. So I will call this annotation. And that annotation is going to be done by, let's say, Nisbet. Then now, let's say you have another person that's working on the site. So let's say that that Candace is working on the file on the site. Site. Then you have the roof. And who else is in that group? Who else is in that group?
Senator.
Who?
Cupidon.
Okay, let's say Cupidon.
Rose
Is working on the roof. Actually, no, this should be roof. So you're working on the roof, Miss Cupidan. Cool. And this is how we work together in harmony. Now, if Candace, who is only supposed to be working on the site, tries to work on the annotation, if she tries to manipulate the annotation, then Revit is going to generate a message that says, hey, you need to ask Nisbet if you can modify this text. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Which makes sense. But that is the sugar-coated kind of scenario.
Don't touch my things, them.
What normally happens is that Candace might be drawing her site and then suddenly decide that, oh yes, I need to also label this tree. And then she adds a label on the tree. That label is supposed to be Nisbet's job, but Candace has added the label under her work set. So what that means is that Nisbet will now be unable to edit all the text that Candace added. Everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, that is what I'm going to say will happen, because it usually does. Because we're not used to this way of working yet. But I want us to think of work sets as layers. Think of when you're working on a layer. In a program like Photoshop or any other program, you might want to draw a roof. So you switch the roof layer and then you draw the roof. Sometimes you might draw a roof and you realize that, oh crap, I didn't put it on the roof layer, so I need to put it on the roof layer afterwards. So the mindset that we have to use when we're using collaboration in Revit, think about collaboration as working with layers.
So you'd have to contact the person to make that adjustment instead of you doing it yourself.
Yeah, but sometimes, right. Now, here's the thing. Now, if Candace is working and she added like 20 different labels to an object, and then she remember, oh crap, I'm not supposed to be adding labels. It's supposed to be Nisbet that's adding labels. Once she selects those objects and say, these belong to Nisbet's work group or Nisbet layer, then automatically she will be locked out of editing it.
Oh, so it's a case where she can transfer the ownership, so to speak, to the person.
Right, because she owns it, so she's able to give ownership. But once you have given ownership,
you can't get it back.
Not unless the person gives it back to you.
Okay.
Right? So when working with work sets and being organized, this is how everybody have to think, because what happens is that if Candace does all of these labelings, synchronizes, and then go to her bed, when Nisbet wake up 4 o'clock in the morning to work, he's going to be unable to edit anything because Candace owns it. And he can't get access to it until Candace wakes up.
Even if it was assigned to him first, sir?
No, this is because, remember, Candace drew them first.
Okay.
Oh, sir. So the person who is in charge of the central file, the group with it, couldn't Rose reassign them over to Nisbet?
Well, there is nobody that owns everything. Think of it this way, as you can't have more than one person owning a work set. You can have one person owning many work sets. But you can have many people owning one work set. As far as I know, I don't think that is possible. Actually, it kind of is, but I'm going to cover that next in what I'm saying. Because there are two approaches to working collaboratively. This approach is the professional way. This is how Rivet is meant to work. You're supposed to say, Nisbet, you're working on the annotation. Candice, you're working on the site, anything to do with site. So if you're putting in a road, walkway, trees, anything to do with site, you're supposed to do it. And then you might say, Kupidan, you're responsible for roof. So anything to do with the roof and the eave and the roof design and the ceiling, you do it. Now, you don't always have to do it like that. Some people say divide it differently. Some people say, for example, Nisbet, you're responsible for the ground floor. You get me? Kupidan, you're responsible for the first floor. Some people, some offices work like that, right? But it's up to you. But what will normally happen is that because we're kind of used to working individually, we might just jump to the first floor, edit something, then jump back to the third floor. But every time we edit something, every time we create an object under our work set, it belongs to us and nobody else can edit it. You guys understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now I'm going to show you another way of working, and this way teeters on the edge of chaos, but it is quick, and I actually prefer to work this way. But from experience, I think it only works out when you are when your team has a rhythm. You know, like when you and somebody do a lot of work together, so you can kind of operate without you having to spell out everything.
Yes, sir.
Right. But if you and somebody don't work together, then it can be quite ear pulling. All right. So this is the other way that you can work creatively. Now, in this other scenario here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put everything in one color. And you can try out these two methods. We're about to test it right now. Okay. Now, let's say in this scenario, nobody owns a work set, right? So you might be wondering to yourself, well, how this may work is going to be like a grab bag. It's going to be like a grab bag. And it kind of is. So let's say that this file is now open and Nisbet run to the file and he chose to start working on the roof. So Nisbet starts to edit the roof. Now, let's say Candace also opened this file. And Candace also wanted to work on the roof because she's not aware that Nisbet is working on the roof. Now, when Candace tries to edit the roof, she's going to get a message that Nisbet is editing the roof. So Candace will say, all right, then fine. Instead, I will work on the walls. No problem. So Candace starts working on the walls. Let's throw in another person now. Now, let's say that Kupidan open the project now and say, you know what, I'm going to start throwing on some labels. So she starts to edit like the title sheet and throw on labels and those things. She has no problem because nobody not editing the label. But then Nisbet say, all right, but don't edit the roof now. Let me go and now edit the walls. So if Nisbet tries to edit the walls, if Candace is still working on it, he's going to get a message that Candace is working on the walls. So Nisbet said, all right, then let me work on the site. No problem there. Now remember that him stop working on the roof. No, he has not physically clicked on the roof object. Him done work and him sink. Now Cupidan says she want to work on the roof because she spot an error. She go to the roof. Cupidan has no problem because Nisbet done work on the roof. You get where I'm going with this?
Easier option, yes, sir.
Hold on. So now Cupidan is working on the annotation, and she's also working on the roof. Now Cupidan decide to know, let's say that Nisbet finish work on the site and go to get some lunch. Cupidan spot an error with the site, so she also starts to work on the site. Now Nisbet come back now and wants to edit the annotations. So him see him spot something on the sheet. Now when he tries to edit the sheet, he's going to say he can't edit the sheet because Cupidan is working on the sheet. So he's going to call Cupidan and say, Cupidan, I need to edit the sheet. Cupidan might say, yeah man, I done edit the sheet long time. I'm now working on the site. But yet still the sheet is still locked. Now the reason the sheet is locked is because Cupidan hasn't synced to Central. Everybody follow me?
Oh my.
So you have to sync to conclude that you have finished editing this object. So what does that mean? Once you have clicked on an object, it will register that you are editing it. But only unless you sync will it register that you have stopped editing it. So if one person come in and click on this, click on that, click on that, click on that, and not syncing, then it will appear that he's editing everything. You follow what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so that means that it has to be a part of your natural rhythm to sync. Everybody understand?
Easier method, understood.
Yes,
Right.
So either way.
Well, as I said, it is easier when you have a rhythm. Imagine if somebody is working and not syncing.
True.
You get what I'm saying? Or if you're working with somebody who you don't know, let's say that you go to a firm and you're working with an engineer. You don't know him, you don't know how him work. So you're going to say the engineer is only allowed to edit the engineer stuff, because you're not going to allow him, the engineer, to change the windows. But in this free-form environment where you're working with a group, you can call each other anytime. This method kind of works out a little bit. But for example, you have to remember to sync before you go to bed or before you stop working on the thing. Because if you don't sync and you leave the file open, then Revit is going to register that you currently are working with this file. Okay, so those are the two scenarios of how you can work together. You can be organized and say, you work on that, I work on this, don't touch my thing, only I can touch your thing. Or free fall, anybody touch anybody thing, but they have to be really, they have to have a rhythm of syncing and not hugging everything for themselves. Okay? Now, what I suggest is a hybrid of the two, where you say, for example, Cupidan is primarily responsible for the roof, but don't lock her into the roof. Nisbet is responsible for annotation, but don't lock him into annotation. You follow me? Because at the end of the day, you all need responsibilities and you need to put that in your document. But sometimes it can be a little inefficient to lock yourself into each work set. Okay, so that's enough theory. Now can we get some action? Everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the Revit file open. So what I want to do now, I want to mimic now what the model lead will do. This is the model lead. So the model lead is the person who will set up the central file first. Now in Revit, the central file usually houses the reference information. So think about it. You can be working on a project by yourself and just convert it to a central file and everybody can jumps on board, and then you just go back to a single file and you continue working. At any time, you can turn a regular file into a central file. You following me? You guys are there?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So in order to start working on this, what I want you to do is, I'm not going to let you open an existing file. Or should I? You're all using the same version of Revit. That would mean you should all have the sample project. No, the sample project won't take too long. Let's use a smaller file. So what I want you to do, this is now the model lead. I want you to open a new project. So you're going to go to new and you're going to go to architectural. And should be something you're familiar with already. Now, in this case, where you are actually preparing to work collaboratively, what the model lead would do, the model lead wouldn't start making the building, The model lead would put in information that will give reference points to where the building is. So I want you to follow along with me, model lead. So just open the Revit file. It's going to be a blank file. And I want you to preferably use the model line. Let's use the model line. And you guys, have you done this? This should be quick.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that this is only one person on each team. All right. So who is that person for what is the team name again?
Sir.
Cameroon and Botswana.
Right. So Cameroon, who is the person for Cameroon that's doing the central file?
Not here, but I will do it for
right.
now.
For now, right? And for Cameroon? For Botswana?
Cameroon.
For Botswana?
Olafemi.
Okay, good. You can make this any random shape. So this is like a reference shape that everybody can know. All right, bam, the site is here. Actually, this is a pretty small site. So let's do it like that. Good. All right. Now, what you're going to do now to now distribute this to everybody, you're going to save the file. Do you save it? No, you go to collaborate first. I'm not sure which one you do first. And then you're going to click collaborate. Now, once you do that, it's going to say, oh, see, it says that you have to save the model before you can collaborate with others. So you're going to go to save. And this is like the most important thing. You must save it where?
OneDrive.
No, Drive P.
Yeah, that.
Right. You're not going to go to OneDrive, This is important. You have to save it in Drive P because that is how Revit works. Mm-hmm. So when you go to Drive P, you need to create a folder, preferably, and you're going to call this Central Model. So I'm going to call this Lecture Project Central Model. You always want to have central model there. And I realize sometimes we mess up, so I like to always go with version numbers V1. Because sometimes we mess up and then we have to create a new central, and then that central gets confused with the other central. So I just work with V1 as a practice. So then you're going to click save. And then you're going to be asked this question. This is the important question. How do you want to work with this? Within a network or in BIM 360? So we're not going to use BIM 360. We know what that would take already. And besides, BIM 360 would have been extremely slow because...
1 second, sir.
Yeah.
So we save it and then we go to collaborate and click on worksets.
Oh, so well, no problem. If you saved it first, then you go to collaborate and then you click collaborate. Okay. And this message should pop up for you. So whether you want to save it or you want to click collaborate first, it's going to end up leading you to the same place.
We're only seeing worksets.
Say again?
Only seeing worksets, not collaborate.
Hold on, you don't see this come up?
No, sir.
Why, it's grayed out or you're not seeing it?
Not seeing it any at all.
Hold on, when you go to... Oh, hold on, you're using 2019.
Yes, sir.
But sir, in my 2019, I see collaborate and worksets.
Oh, hold on. Are you using Revit architecture or Revit? Just straight Revit?
That's Revit, sir.
It should be there. That's weird. You're seeing worksets, right? All right, click worksets.
Worksets.
Click worksets.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that at here.
Good. Right. So what this is saying is that when you enable work sharing, remember how work sharing works? I'm doing some kind. Remember how work sharing works? Work sharing is like layers. Remember that example that we gave earlier? So this is telling you that everything that exists already, we're just going to move it to a layer and call it work set 1.
Okay.
Cool. So think of it that way. So you're just going to say yes. You don't need to trouble that. Just say yes. And then you will see this come up here. And remember where I was saying how you would say one person responsible for this, another person responsible for that. This is where you would do it. But no, you're not gonna you're not gonna set this up because it seems that most of you favor the kind of freestyle way.
Yes,
so all right, no problem. So you're just gonna leave this as is and just choose okay. All right, so even if you didn't see the collaborate button, it's okay. It's okay. Then now what you're gonna do is, by the way, are you still seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
And you're seeing it clearly, or is it too small? Did I make it big? Oh, I did make it big. Okay, good. All right, good. So now this file is now a central file. A central file, it has the same extension as Revit RVT, but it is not really a normal Revit file. So now you're going to go to File, Save or Save As, whichever one, depending on what you clicked on. Just go Save As to be certain. And I'm going to just save this here. So now, this is a central file, meaning this is not a normal file. So now you would not continue working in this file. Everybody understand?
Mm-hmm.
So a good practice for the group model lead is to do what they call relinquish all mine. And what that means is that you're not taking ownership of any object, because right now by default you own the object that you have drawn. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you're going to go to relinquish all mine. Nothing is going to happen. It would just be blank. And you are going to close the project.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you have now closed the project. Now that the project is closed, all the other group members can go in and open the file.
Let me know if y'all see it.
No, hold on. Before we go on opening, I wanted to show you something interesting. When you go to Rivet, where is it? Oh, you have to open something to see it. Oh crap. Oh well, all right. Yeah, open the file. So it's the same central model you're going to open, and tell me what pops up for you.
For everybody, sir.
Right, everybody. So everybody in that group is now going to go to their drive P and open the folder. So I'm going to switch over to my other computer to pretend that I'm the other person. Where is that now?
I only see test file.
Hold on a second, can we?
Yeah, well, yeah, the group member probably save it. So I'm going to open Rivet and I'm going to go to drive P. You have to go to drive P, guys, remember?
Yes, sir. And open the...
And go to central model and you're going to open that central model. Now, some of you might get a message. Oh, some of you might get a message and some of you might not get a message, depending on which version of Rivet or whatever you. For some of you, it will just open like this, which is a normal Rivet file.
I'm very shocked that it has opened without any problems.
Well, some of you might get a message that says, this is a central file and I will now create a local file for you. Don't be alarmed because we understand how that concepts work, right? But I think 2020 Rivet don't give you that message anymore. I think it just open. Okay, now, this is what I want you to notice. You're seeing my screen okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you go to File, I want you guys to follow me. Go to File. Come on, File. And then you're going to go to Options. I'm going to show you something here. And when you go to Options, look under, Username. You seeing this username right here?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Sir,
whenever you...
Sir, can you
Yes?
pause? You were frozen on my screen for a while. I know you are somewhere.
Okay, right. I went to File. And I went to...
reopen the model.
Right. So yes, so even you who shared the model, make sure you close it first, right? You have closed the model. So you're going to go back to Central and open it. Right. Now, everybody who opens the file, what I want you to notice when you go to, when you go Rivet and you go Files, you go Options, and you look under Username, anything that you edit, anything that has your fingerprint on it is going to have this username. I think both of my computers have the same name. So I need to rename this. I'm going to call this like Brian's. No, I'm going to call this Williams. No, Brian's desktop. Just so that it can have a different name. You know? And choose OK.
Sir.
Ah, crap. Okay, right. So it's not going to allow you to change it because you have already opened the file. But in any case, what I want to highlight to you is that this is your signature. This is whenever you edit something and you're currently working on something and somebody else wants to edit it and it says Tom Jones is editing this, the word Tom Jones will be whatever you see as your username.
Okay.
So you can always change that if you want by closing the file, don't save it, and change your username. Open Rivet normally, like I think you have to open something. And then you change your username, close Rivet and open it back. If you want your name to be registered, not as the default name that you see there.
Sir, I'm actually signed in. Is that bad or good?
Into 360?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Then it will use your sign-in name.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Right.
Sir, after upload it to the drive, the members of the team will just go and select it and it will work from there.
Right. But I don't like when you say upload to drive. You have saved it to drive P, right?
Right. When you save it there.
Okay, good. Because that's important. If you save it anywhere else, it's going to give everybody else an error message.
Okay, sir, understood.
Right, good. Okay, so now I'm going to open the file on both computers. Okay, look, when I open it on this computer, it's, oh, sorry, you're not seeing the screen. Right, when I open it on this computer here, it's telling me that by opening this central model, you will create a local copy of it. Everybody understand what this means, right?
Yep.
So some of us might get this message, but that's okay. And here we go. And it's now open with no problems. Now you're in free fall mode, so you can just start drawing. Now, here is the important thing. How do I, because you have no work sets, it's almost like you have no layers. I guess it can work. Hey, try it out and see how it works. You can comment on this in your project document to see if it works. But so if I, for example, drew a wall here and I click sync, now here is sync and here is save. Remember we spoke about syncing and saving? So if I click sync now, then that's it. It will sync. Now,
repeat that, sir.
here is sync and here is save. Now there is the sync with the little lightning beside it is quick sync, but you can go to the sync which brings up like this whole dialog box and whatever you know, so you can actually comment when you sync. Like you could say that I think all these windows I edited are wrong or whatever, but you don't have to. But this is the long sync. This short sync is when you do the one with the lightning where it just syncs. It doesn't give you the option to write any notes or anything. Now I have sync there. Now what you guys have to remember when you sync, you're really saving it to drive, and then everybody's drive have to update, right?
Yeah.
So there is a bit of delay, but there is no delay in saving. And this is why that what you're doing now is actually, in my opinion, better than the BIM 360. Because I think the BIM 360 depends on your, I think it doesn't allow you to continue working until the cloud has synced or something like that. But you can just work and save because you're really just saving on your computer. But in the background, OneNote is synchronizing. But you are tricking the computer, you're tricking Revit by making it believe that everybody has a drive P by using the Visual Subst application. So now, if on my other computer, I could be just drawing and not realizing that somebody has synced, you know. And here I am just drawing normally, and they say, oh yes, somebody had, let me just sync. And when I click sync here, then it should pop up. There we go. Now, this little interesting method, you guys will be putting it to the test, because my testing that I have went through using this app, I have done it with 2 persons working on a project, but it's going to be like, well, it's 2 to 3 of you. So I am interested to see how this method works out, because if it does, you know, this is like something revolutionary that you can use to work on anything together with somebody, right? Imagine you're working on your studio project and for whatever reason, somebody's saying that you needed help with drawing all of these balusters, or you needed help with putting in windows, and you could just quickly set this up and say, can you go and add in some windows for me while I go on doing the roof? You understand? So it can be really helpful for you if you're working on something, or if you're in an architectural office, the two of you are working on the same thing. One person can be editing sheets, another is drawing, the two of you modeling. It's just that two of you can't physically click on the same objects. Okay, now check this out. If I try to edit this wall here, it works. Now, when I go over to my other computer and I try to edit the same wall, you see that message? You guys see that message?
Yes, sir.
And that's because I grabbed it first. So I can't edit it now. So let me see now. Okay, let me stop editing it and edit this other wall now. All right, so I have now left that alone and I've edited this other wall. Now, on this side, if I try to edit it, it still tells me that it needs the editing. And additionally, well, I don't see the other thing come up yet because I haven't synced. So now when I sync to central, I will see the other wall, and I can edit this wall now because, I can't just yet. No, I can't until resave the element in central. See, so it's telling me that I need to sync again. So you understand, with doing stuff this way, you have to be synchronizing with central very regularly. And it doesn't take that long to sync, but the bigger the model is, the longer it will take. Okay, good. So I think we have completed this demo. Even though it's a demo, the project folder that you have set up is the real deal. So that is what you will use to do your model. Right. But it will be interesting to see everybody fighting over what objects to edit where. By the way, I want to introduce this because professionally, there's a reason why they have work sets. Like, this doesn't really work out when you have a lot of people. When you have, like, if it's just me and somebody working, we can work like this. But if you have 5 people working, none of you would be able to click on anything because there will be at least 3 persons that did not click sync once they touch something. So it don't work out when you have so much people. So before you go, I want to show you how to set up the work sets, which is better. Now, this is a little tricky because I think I have the same name. Oh, no, this is called Brian Williams laptop. Good. So let's say that you want to get organized and deal with work sets. Well, you would need to go to collaborate. At least one person.
Pause a while. My Revit is opening.
Okay.
1 second.
Oh, sir, when you finish the central file.
What you ask?
When you finish the central file and you X off of it, you go back into the drive here.
You go back, you just open it
file.
again. Yes, you open it again. After you close it, you open it again. Because basically, the central file becomes a file that nobody touches. Because once you try to open it, it will always create a local version of itself. So technically, you will never edit that file. Nobody really touches that file.
Right. So I guess what she's trying to ask is from where do we access it then? Is it from the Revit software itself?
Oh, preferably. You can always double click it, but like, I would recommend you open Revit and open it that way. Because it's not really a regular Revit file, and I don't know if other little things come into play, like, version of Windows or some other things like that.
Okay.
All right. Now let's say you want to get. Right. Let's say you want to get organized and you want to say, all right, you are responsible for walls, all walls. Well, it would make sense. When somebody is responsible for walls, they have to be responsible for openings, meaning windows and doors. Makes sense. Because you can't have somebody owning a wall and somebody owning a window because they would need permission to insert the window into the wall. You follow me? So if you're making somebody in charge of walls, they would have to be in charge of windows and doors. So I'm going to go to collaborate, and then I'm going to go to work sets. Now, by default, everything is on work set 1. So it's like everybody was working on the same layer. And it's just a matter of who touch what object first to determine who get it. So now we're going to create some work sets. Now to do that, you're going to go to new. And let's say we create a work set called walls plus openings plus doors plus windows, just to be specific. And look, I own that because I currently have this file open and I created it, so I own it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's create another one. Let's call this one site plus landscape. What else is outside? Plus hardscape plus entourage. EN. Where I get you from? No. Is it EN? Why does it look so weird? What else is outside? Okay, let's call it that. Then let's have another one called how about roofs and floors, maybe? Yeah, because roofs and floors are good because the roof of one is the floor of another, right? So roofs plus floors. Maybe. I don't know. I just make a couple, but you might choose to do it differently. Maybe one might say left wing, right wing, upper floor, lower floor. But because most of you are working on a single model, chances are if it's not like a multi-story building, then it makes sense to split it this way. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to choose OK. You're going to choose which work set is your active work set. You can just say yes for roof and wall. You can always change it later. Now, remember, each of these are like layers. So firstly, you want to relinquish all of your layers. Rivet, because the project has not been saved. Okay, yeah. So I need to save and sync. So I need to save it and relinquish. Yeah, and I have to sync it, yeah. So now when I sync it, everybody on this project will now receive these work sets and I will own it. So for example, if you look at my other computer now, I'm going to sync to central.
So both persons have to sync for everyone to see the changes.
Yeah, man, you have to sync. Syncing is like breathing. It's like it needs to become a part of your, like, you know, like how some people Control S is a part of their whole momentum.
Understands.
Right. All right. So now when I go to work set, I got to collaborate and go to work set. I can see the work sets here, but Brian owns all of them naturally because he created them. So what I need to do is I need to relinquish. I don't own them anymore. And of course, I need to sync to make that sent out across the board.
This is why a shortcut for syncing.
Or I guess, but the next question, sir, is there an auto sync feature?
Yes,
And
yes,
that
sir.
has been a question a lot of times, but I keep seeing where Autodesk does not have an auto sync, and the reason for that
Not
is
hearing you so clearly, so you're chipping in
destructive
and out.
because in the background it actually stops you when you work. So imagine, I don't know if you've ever used a program like
Sir,
auto
Sir?
saves.
sir, you're breaking up.
Oh, every time I see it happen. But anyway, if you've ever used a program that auto saves,
So you're breaking up,
Still.
chipping in
We're
and
not
out.
hearing you too clearly at
yes,
all.
the internet connection. How about I let, let's let's just yes, mic check.
Yeah, hearing you much better now.
Right, look like my internet just dip a while ago. So I'm saying that imagine when you're working and your computer does stuck because it's syncing. You know, that's much, well, Autodesk argues that that is much worse than you deciding to sync. But I see little apps available for auto syncing, but I do agree with them because I use 3D Max and 3D Max have an autosave feature, and it is both the devil and an angel at the same time. Because I'm doing something and autosync comes in, and when it's a huge file, autosync takes like 3 minutes, and it's just annoying. And sometimes the computer freeze, and I'm saying, "Oh crap! When last did I autosave?" You understand? So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. But anyway, for now, syncing is manual. All right, let me share my screen again. Hopefully,
So this recording is going to be on the website, right?
am I recording? Yes, I am.
Jesus. So how you access them again?
Go on to
On the
forum.
forums. Right,
Okay.
right. Okay. What was I saying? Right. So now I have relinquished all work sets. Now check this out. Now, if I am drawing a wall and I do want to worry that Nisbet is going to grab my wall that I just draw, and then I can't edit it again. So what I would do is I would put this on a work set. So how do I do that? Down here, where you see work sets, these are all the work sets. You see them?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I choose a work set before I draw an object, then when I draw that object, it's now on that work set. However, this wall on the left here, I drew before I chose the work set. How do I change that work set? Look in your pan this over a bit more. Look in your properties and look under work sets. So you click this object here and you can see this work set is currently work set 1. So I can change this to walls and I can change this to walls. And what happens now is that I currently have the walls work set active, so nobody can touch it. Cool? So anything I change to walls immediately becomes inaccessible to other people, even if I did not sync. Cool? So I'm now locked into that work set. Nobody can bother me and my work set. But at the same time, nobody can edit my stuff. So if you go to collaborate and you go to work sets, notice that it says that you don't own the work set, meaning that when I close Revit, I will not retain ownership. So somebody else can take ownership, which is perhaps a good thing. But if I go here and I say that I am the owner, can I do that? When I change it to, let me see. Let me see. If I change it here, then do you want to make the work set active? Yes. So when I change it here and say yes, then even when I close the file, I will still retain ownership. But that's a bad thing, perhaps, because as I say, you don't want to go to bed and you own something and nobody else can edit it until you come back online. So that's perhaps a bad thing. All right. I think that is it. Is there any other? No, that's it. I think that is collaborating in Revit in a nutshell. Now, there are going to be things that's going to pop up. I'm not going to go through them now. I'm just going to make them develop and you find a solution for them. Because in everything, there is always things that can go wrong. Right? Like I don't hear anybody ask it, what if somebody steals the central file?
If somebody steals the central file, sir?
Well, can I tell you this? Imagine that, you're doing like an architectural competition and somebody breaks into your office and steals the central file that the 15 of you have been working on for the last 3 months.
So, sir, we don't have security cameras.
Certain things are happening, sir.
Why don't you have software security or something like that?
Well, yeah, but think about it. Let's say you are a spy from the competitor, and you're there in the office, everybody thinks you're a friend, and you go on the server and you delete the central model. So what will happen? Well, firstly, when you
like a movie thing.
when you open the file, it's going to say central file is missing. Now, here is the great fail-safe about this method. Technically, everybody has a copy of the central file. Why do I say that?
You needed to make the copy of the local.
Exactly. So everybody's local file would have been a mirror of the central file. So you just have to find the latest local file, and then you can turn that into a central file and continue working. All right. There's a little procedure to do that, but in theory, that is how you would circumvent that situation. So you see, this central thing is really a kind of fail safe. It's like it's very possible to avoid any major catastrophes, because when you think about it, remember on a larger scale, you're working at an architectural firm, but you are collaborating with an engineering firm. Both of you are using the same central model. And I mean, you're also collaborating with maybe another firm that's doing the electrics. So you don't want the person who is doing the electrics to be able to move a window. As a matter of fact, if they want to move a window or a door because it's in the way of a pipe, then they have to send you a request saying that, hey, your window is in the way of my pipe. And then the architecture team would move it. So, that central file becomes like very valuable when you're talking about a project. But we haven't gotten there yet. We are heading there, but we first need to master it on a local level, meaning you guys are a group. If you can't dance a yard, you can't dance abroad. So you need to be able to be managing this within a local group as yourself before you could think about doing it between like national or global partners. Understand?
Yes, sir.
And this is something that is needed in the industry. I can't tell you the amount of offices that you go to, and there is no way to collaborate. How they do work is that they say, you work on the 3D, I work on the working drawings. But nobody truly collaborates where the working drawing is the 3D, but it's just that one person is just focused on generating 2D sections, and another person is focused on editing the model. And another person might be just about doing the sheets, and another person is just exporting the model for rendering. That's how it should work.
Does any firm at all in Jamaica collaborate?
You might find like two person in a firm, like say the boss say, you know what, you guys work on this project, and those two persons might say, let's try out collaborate. But the reality is, how you get projects approved, what gives the architect money And we'll talk about this in the next lecture, which is collaboration. But what gives the architect money is approvals. And how does approval work? You need to submit working drawings to the parish council, and then they get approval. That is the main meat of the matter. And the truth is that most people who do working drawings still use 2D CAD. They don't use Revit. People are starting to use Revit, but they don't use Revit. And even people who use Revit, they now have to use it collaboratively, which is another step. So we have a few steps to go. So I don't know of any firm that have actually taken a project all the way to approvals yet. I think just the task of working with, for example, an engineer who doesn't know what Revit is daunting enough. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Right. But we're getting there. We're getting there. But it starts with you guys. So you guys need to actually use it. You know?
I mean, sir, a lot of these firms, the people who are in charge are from, the
Yes.
older generation, and
Yes, that
they
is
think that
true.
once it's not broke, you don't need to fix it,
Yeah,
even though it's not efficient.
but something will come along which we'll discuss where when you have a
COVID.
government project that says only BIM entries are qualified, then you're going to have people saying, oh crap, and start calling up you graduates and say, hey, do you guys know how to use BIM? Do you know how to collaborate? The engineer firms going to do the same thing. But so the bigger boss to your boss is like on a national level. You follow me? The client who is asking for the work, and it has usually the governmental client, because if you ask somebody to do a house, you're not necessarily going to request that they use BIM to do it. You just want them to you just want your house built by any means necessary. But it's really the government that has to push using BIM and say, look, only if you use BIM will you be qualified for this project. And then you'll have firms competing to learn BIM first. Right now, it's just out of interest and efficiency, but most people look at it as more inefficient because think about it. The guys who are doing the working drawings, a lot of persons aren't really hiring architecture students to the working drawings because you guys are the cream of the crop. You guys are more expensive. So they will hire draftsmen from, wherever who teaches drafting to do it. Not saying that they are less important, but it's just a matter of costing. You might have, in a typical firm, you might have two draftsmen and maybe two CSA students and maybe two graduate students and maybe an architect or two. You know, the CSA student are the assistants to the graduate student, and the graduate student are the assistant to the registered architect. And that might vary from firm to firm. But most of you who graduating from CSA, you guys don't really specialize in working drawings. You touch it here and there, but it's not like you spend 4 years learning.
Why not, sir?
Well,
Why
that
not?
used to be the case a couple of years ago, but it's not necessarily a good thing. 'Cause what happens is that you can have you are able to produce draftsmen easier than it is to produce good architects. It's just a much more harder, grueling process to produce an architect because remember, the architect does more. They have to consider more things. They have to work with the engineer. They work with the aesthetics, but they also have to work with pragmatics, with the HVAC guy. They need to run the AC properly so that it look. They have to put everything together. But drafting on a whole is kind of like a technician. Think about like Digicel will hire a technician, and the technician is trained in what buttons to press and whatever you. But the technician can't design the network. They can't decide whether copper pipes need to run in the earth, and it is best used to wire this apartment. You know, you need somebody who designs to do that part, but then you need the technicians to actually do the work, do the connecting. So it's the same thing with architecture.
Question, sir.
I mean, you guys can specialize in working drawings if you want, I mean, they are, and that's where a lot of students end up. You go to a firm and you start with working drawings. But nowadays, a lot of you start with presentations, 3D and yeah. You had a question?
Yes, sir. I was asking what we learn in terms of our drawing in the undergraduate level be sufficient in the sense for producing the architectural side of the work in drawings.
You have to develop on it, and it's the same thing with 3D. What you learn, you won't be able to do like top class rendering like from Disney. Same thing with working drawings. You won't be as good as somebody who goes to EDTI for 3 years to study drafting, but you can develop on it. So it's like architecture kind of puts you at an intersection or a node where you choose what path you want to go down. And if you stick on the architecture path, as you realize when you're going to most firms, you might see an architect that doesn't know how to use AutoCAD, but that don't mean he's not a good architect, because there's a lot more that goes into the process than just using one program. And you can't do everything. That's what it comes down to. You just can't. Your brain, you just can't.
Understood, sir.
You have to eventually you have to choose. Eventually you have to choose, because if you don't choose, you won't become a professional or an expert. An expert is somebody who has like a lot of, saying says 10,000 hours, but they have a lot of training in a specific thing and they know it really good, rather than knowing 10 things averagely. So that's a part of your career development. So you guys will eventually decide. Some people will gravitate. I know architects who are primarily the working drawings, and I know architects that design events. They don't do anything in architecture. And there are people who do theory. Those people normally come back and teach. And there are people who do 3D visualization like myself. And that's where I specialize. So you can't know everything. You just have to kind of just develop along what you see fit and what you find yourself have a knack.
So what are the requirements to teach CSA?
To teach CSA, to be a lecturer, to be any lecturer, you have to have a master's. That's the minimum requirement. And
so even as an assistant lecturer, is that a thing?
Yes, there is an assistant lecturer that you can get with a degree, which some universities have an avenue where lecturers can be hired, but you usually get a contract. So I started as a lecturer, as an assistant lecturer. You usually get a contract, and the contract usually states that you have to, within a certain period, either upgrade, move up or move out, right?
Okay.
But when you have your masters, it's not based on that. But you are encouraged to doctor.
All right, sir.
Yeah. But that's the road that you guys will eventually choose.
Would you say best for working drawings?
What was that question?
Which software would you say is best for working drawings? The BIM or the AutoCAD?
AutoCAD. Wow.
Yeah, AutoCAD. Sorry.
Well, hear what? This is one of those situations where I know that BIM is better, but I will get a lot of cussing from all the AutoCAD veterans.
Yup.
Yep. And even
Because
to this
I have
day,
used BIM for working drawings and I don't like it.
that is true. And it is a mind shift. But it's I do agree that AutoCAD is great for drafting. And it's like I used to be saying that okay, AutoCAD is for drafting, but then I compared apples to apples, and everything in AutoCAD I could do in Revit, and I keep asking myself, but why? Why is it that people use AutoCAD and people say that it's better? And I think it's how you put it, it's the way in which it presents its tools to you. And I think it's also tied to maybe what courses through your veins.
You're slow, sir.
Maybe you didn't grow up on it, but then because the industry, it's almost like how you're cultured. You know, you may not have grown up in certain neighborhoods, but you understand when a particular neighborhood speaks a certain way and another neighborhood speaks a certain way because you are in the environment. So it's that kind of a thing. I think we're still in the AutoCAD environment in Jamaica, in the Caribbean. And we know about this new shiny thing called BIM, and we see all the fancy videos, and we talk about it in first world. And when each one of we leave our local space and we go overseas, we all get engraved in this Rivet thing. But back home, we're still in an AutoCAD environment. But it's changing, but slowly. So to back to your question, I purposefully tried to use auto BIM to do like a detail section, and I did it. And in my opinion, it was better, but it took me longer. It took me longer because the approach is different. But at the end of the day, it don't matter how good AutoCAD is, the way in which a BIM software can collaborate, a drafting software don't reach them levels of collaboration yet. And one would argue that in the local arena, you don't need it. Some people keep saying, yeah, but I don't need it because my guys from VTI do my drawings just fine and they look good. And then pass. The thing bill and end of discussion done. But guess what? It's the same way back in the past. People were saying that this computer thing, I use my hand and do my drawings and it approve and it done. So eventually it will catch up on you. Eventually.
So what about Vectorworks, sir?
It's the same thing. I'm not necessarily speaking about Revit. I'm just saying BIM. You have BIM software. So Vectorworks has a BIM. It also have converted to BIM. So they have a whole BIM section of their suite. And the same thing with ArchiCAD. It's an approach to working. BIM, you have one
Yes.
3D model. Everybody works from the 3D model. Everybody working drawings, construction, quantity surveying. Everybody works from the 3D model. That is the mindset. That is just the mindset.
Oh, sir,
Yeah.
why aren't we introduced to other programs?
Well, at the end of the day, the university can't teach everything, It uses one as a use case, and you have to apply it to other things. And it's also based on what the lecturers know. For example, it's highly likely that you will find a lecturer that teaches Revit more than Vectorworks. Not saying that you won't, but likely that you will find. And you wouldn't want the Vectorworks teacher teaching your Revit because they will be hampered. You know what I mean? And whether you choose to use, for example, Word, or the Mac version name again? I don't remember. But you get the point what I'm getting at. Whether you use Vectorworks or Revit, they're both BIM programs, so each his own. So who knows? Suppose in the future I am not around and they can only get Vectorworks lectures, then the chances are you learn Vectorworks.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm gonna leave the meeting because I have our next class.
Yes, and it is beyond the time actually. So we've had a good discussion. You guys have had a good demonstration. So now you are armed with the tool to do your assignment, your major project. So what I'll be expecting is that, for example, for the following class, I'll be speaking to you about collaboration. There's a collaboration slide that we're going to go through. And what you can do is bring up any challenges you are having with collaborating. All right?
Sir, could I speak to you after the class ends?
Sure.
Also,
Sure.
remember to save the recording and upload it to the site.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, good.
yes. Sir,
So here's what I will do. Who said they want to speak to me again?
And me, I can probably do
Jordan.
in case simply don't want me to hear what you're talking.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I will schedule let me create a meeting called
I mean, so you could just wait and let everybody else leave the meeting.
no, because I don't want it to be in the recording.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so student discussion. I created a meeting. I'm sending you the meeting link now.
Yeah, you can just stop the recording, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's next week. You want this something them?
All right. Cool. Okay. Hold on a minute.
Sir,
Yes, the 19th.
your name, sir.